which is obviously a very relevant and heavy-hitting topic. But that's why we found it important to talk about now, and I'll share a little bit about our...
Trump's America now, boy. It sure is.
I woke up and checked Twitter to see posts about a Migrant simulator game. I giggled to myself with a villainous glee. "Daddy's eating good today," I cried out loud in a fit of trollish delight. Then Asmongold did a video on it hours later. Whatever, the usual, right? But this time, the devs were stricken with a level of fear I've never seen before. They sounded the horn of Gondor as the Asmonites descended upon them like locusts, leading to the developers removing all of their social media content from the internet. Gamescom freaked out so hard, they deleted the entire 8-hour live-streamed event for a 10 to 20-minute segment that Asmongold covered. Good lord.
Hey, Jeff Keighley, why did you make the Gamescom Congress video private? Were you ashamed of being caught promoting the propaganda of an illegal immigrant simulator?
I don't think Jeff Keighley cares about anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Keighley wakes up and does a bump of coke before he starts his day.
Stop him!
Anyway, did Asmongold's coverage scare you? I'll be covering this tonight on my live stream event. No, it's double trouble. Asmongold then smash JT. When will the horror end?
The presentation for the game didn't even show the game at all, actually. It was 20 minutes of a TED Talks. At one point, I can't even remember this chick's name. She calls the trash migrants leave over on the Oregon Trail of illegally crossing the border artifacts. Just play the clip.
Could see artifacts that were left in the desert by migrants.
Can we see the video game
on a
yet?
recent trip that I
video
did
games
on the border,
What do you mean
I
about video
actually
games?
found artifacts that migrants had left behind. So they're still doing this to this day.
Artifacts?
These disregarded canteens were the equivalent of Ming Dynasty porcelain plates, my dude. That's when I pulled the ripcord, turned off the video.
Can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
there's no
running out of time.
USAID.
There's the trailer.
Okay, let's see the trailer.
We won't do the trailer. It's hilarious. Okay, I'm done. That was it.
Wow.
These are QR code. Thank you.
Wow.
Stupid bitch. Let's get out of here. She's a stupid bitch.
Carla Reyes deported herself off of the internet after these events unfolded. But it was already too late. Netizens started looking into her career. She was on the Forbes 30 Under 30, something she was very proud of, in fact.
A Forbes 30 Under 30 fellow and a World Economic Forum global shaper with diverse experience in the media and gaming's industry. She is dedicated to creating socially conscious interactive media with positive cultural impact. She is also involved in environmental and social impact initiatives, the entertainment sector. Carla is a driving force at Code Coven, the first global games industry accelerator, where she has raised substantial funding, established critical partnerships, and co-created programs that promote diversity and inclusion in the gaming world.
I have a feeling that she got a lot of her money from donations. Anyway, her focus is what you'd expect from someone with luxury beliefs, the constant need to virtue signal through the medium of games and activist gaming or activist art. These are actually phrases. A nightmare concept thought up by the most pretentious individuals on earth, the most privileged, my dude.
Luxury beliefs are ideas and opinions that confer status on the upper classes while inflicting costs on the less fortunate. 100 years ago, you could immediately tell who was rich and who was poor. We've generally become a more wealthy society. Now, luxury beliefs have, to a large extent, replaced luxury goods. These are expressions of cultural capital. So if the conventional view is, it's good to have law enforcement, well, if you want to indicate that you're not a member of the unwashed masses, you say, actually, we should abolish police and reimagine how law enforcement works.
We need to reimagine how we are creating safety.
The believer is sheltered from the consequences of his or her belief.
It is the best because they pulled out all the stops for the games. These two posts are just to show some small connections.
Oh my god, I'd have to read you a literal Bible of minutia, my guy, for you to kind of connect the insane dots that involve this. This is, we're just going to read what I found, because I'm lazy. I'm not going through this, and this is not artistic detail.
Thank you, Dean Takashi and GamesBeat, for an opportunity to participate in a panel alongside some fiercely talented women in the gaming industry and the role models of mine at this year's Gamescom Summit in Los Angeles on May 21st. The panel will focus on exploring ways our industry can continue to drive real-world positive change and impact. With all the tumult that the entertainment sectors have faced... Tumult? Does she mean tumultuous? Have faced recently, it is critical along the opportune time for artists and advocates to support each other and take collective action to pave a brighter future. We need it now more than ever. Recent news about the open letter to Hollywood urging support of values based on storytelling reaction to the closure of the participants corroborates this. Particularly, media has been a source of inspiration for the work in anime and...
I don't care about this. I don't care.
Women in Gaming Breakfast. How gaming is driving positive global change. Yes. Yes, Queen. Global change.
Yes.
Blockchain game proponents, detractors, and everyone in between. What questions do you have about the environmental, economic, social sustainability, and blockchain game ecosystem? This is a rapidly proliferating space, so let's figure out how to build it ethically. Get started with blockchain gaming and build a blockchain track.
What is this? It sounds like I'm being sold cryptocurrency.
What up, Dink Doink Telegram? It's me, Logan Paul. Now I know what you're thinking. Logan, what the are you doing here? I'm doing the same thing as you. Holding my doink. That's what I'm doing. This is a shitcoin I believe in.
I know you guys have been busting your ass to make sure that the hottest, newest coin of 2021 is Dink Doink.
Co-founder of Square Enix Red, an employee resource group at Square Enix dedicated to racial and ethical diversity initiatives, as well as founding team members of Code Coven, an award-winning global games industry community that accelerator for underrepresented talent, passionate about harnessing the power of games for social impact.
Listen, she had connections out the wazoo. She worked with Visa. She had fluff pieces from GameBeat. She had a panel hosted by Kevin Smith about financial freedom, giving me Jake Paul 2019 energy. As stated in her now scrubbed LinkedIn, she was a project manager for multiple game companies when most developers can't even hold a job at one. I don't understand what's going on here.
Kill me.
Master of the TDS pointed out that Carla was linked to Sweet Baby Inc. in some way.
I have known this for quite some time, as you can see from my comment on our post. Take Us North is also a game on my SBI involvement suspect list. I'm excited to share news about a project on our team, Anima Creates, has been pouring our hearts and minds into this year. Take Us North follows the protagonist journeys of migrants and asylum seekers on their way to cross the US-Mexican border. Learn more. Talk about fun.
Nobody replied to this except Masters of the TDS. Okay, there's 5 people.
Hello, I was wondering if you could ask you some questions about the company you used to work for called Wings Interactive.
Immediately, she ignored the dude because she's like, oh, no, don't ask it. You're supposed to ask me what it's like to be a migrant, you idiot.
Ultimately, I didn't care much. They were making their own game, but to run and hide the minute your game gets massive free exposure seems strange to me. Like, this is exactly what these companies want. This sort of PR is what they dream of. And once you start connecting the dots with her, and believe me, there are way too many, it seems like they're part of some big club that has all these doors open to them. It's incestuous in vain. It's all about this weird activism that I'm pretty sure survives mainly off of grants from major organizations, companies, and maybe the WEF or whatever the hell it's called.
Microsoft's Xbox poured money into it, and Clever Endeavor Games poured money into it.
And conveniently, Clever Endeavor is also the bankroll behind Wing's 2025 Elevate program.
Wings wanted to fund more games that get peak numbers in the hundreds of players, but somehow are deserving of up to $500,000 in project funding.
Can you say money laundering?
So let's spell it out. Microsoft bankrolls it, Clever Endeavor bankrolls it, Wings endorses it, and Wings, as we've proven, is glued to Sweet Baby Inc. by having Kim Belair as a former board member.
And I've also been on the advisory board of a few funding bodies, including the Wings Fund, which specializes in grants for women and marginalized people working in games and funding projects that come to us through there.
That's not coincidence. That's a pipeline.
A pipeline pumping rot. And it would be almost funny if it wasn't so grotesque, because the more you exhume, the more you realize This thing was buried for a reason.
No, you didn't hear Raven incorrectly. Take Us North didn't just get money, it got paraded on the global stage.
As in the United Nations stage, just 9 months ago as a demo codenamed the American Dream.
While there's no evidence that Sweet Baby Inc. is directly working on Take Us North, their influence with Wings ties them indirectly to the project. Clever Endeavor Games is another studio reportedly invested in Take Us North while also financing Wings' 2005 Elevate program, which funneled money towards activist-driven projects. Microsoft gave Anima Interactive corporate legitimacy, pushing Take Us North into the mainstream. The United Nations, perhaps the most shocking revelation Gothic Therapy reported on Take Us North, was showcased at the United Nations under the codename American Dream. Just 9 months ago, a game simulating illegal border crossing had not only corporate but also global institutional support.
I think they scrubbed everything because there was something they didn't want us to know or see. Asmongold did this group of people a favor. He glanced at it, called it propaganda, and moved on. While more diligent content creators quickly noticed that there was far more at play here than just a woke game. But now we won't fully know where all of this leads back to, at least not for the time being. Frankly, as David Lee Roth once said in the song Mean Streets, now what you think is nothing might be something after all.